Thank you so much for joining us today on the Higher Learning Network. I have a very special guest today. You've heard us talk about how tight things are in this economy. Well, we've got a solution for you, especially if you're a business owner. My guest today is Dr. Jeffrey Bettman, who's a member of the Itex organization. It's a barter organization. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you had to come late because you were busy with a patient. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your practice.
Well, I'm a podiatric physician surgeon, aka foot and ankle specialist, for the past 18 years, and it's hard to believe 18 years had passed. It just seems like just yesterday that I started this practice, but it's been about 18 years that I've been in practice. Got 3 locations in the Chicago area, including a surgery center. I'm on staff at several hospitals, and I just love what I do.
How did you get in business? Did you dream of feet when you were a little boy, or how did that happen?
Well, actually, I did always want to go into the medical field. I am also an MD as well.
What piqued your interest? Excuse me, what piqued your interest?
My interest, well, I wanted to help people. I wanted to be a provider, a service provider, a healer, and I was just fascinated with medicine, and eventually my best friend actually talked me into getting into the field and suggested I go into podiatry because there were not many podiatrists. There was a large demand for podiatry in the medical field, and I said to myself, well, how many foot problems do people really have? You really don't. I really didn't fathom the thought of really seeing many people having foot problems until I actually got into the field, and now we have foot problems galore.
Really? What would you say is the number one problem? Is it jogging?
Well, there are many different foot problems, anywhere from heel pain, which is probably one of the most common problems that I see in my practice.
And what does that heel pain come from? Where is that, a nerve condition, or?
It can result from many different things, including ill-fitting shoes, also the biomechanics or people's foot structure. People with high arches tend to stress their arches, their feet, as well as people with low arches where the muscles are trying to lift that arch, per se. So there are several different reasons for foot pain, including injury and other things.
So like doctors who are dentists, are you the kind of doctor that when you look at a person, your eyes are automatically drawn to their feet? Tell the truth.
We look at the feet, of course. Obviously, the first.
But when you see a person, who's not in your office, are you drawn to their feet?
Not really.
No.
It's kind of difficult to see people in public and make them take their shoes off. Of course. So of course I cannot, But sometimes I do, and they actually come up to me. They hear I'm a foot specialist, and they say, "Hey, listen, could you take a look at this? I've had this bunion for years. What do you think we can do?" And this is in the middle of Madison Street downtown or on Michigan Avenue. So I says, "Well," I hand them a card, and I say, "Look, we have a couple of office locations in the area. You're welcome to make an appointment, and we'll take care of you." And
how many patients do you see via Itex?
Through Itex, we do see several a month. And these are people that obviously are members of Itex. I'm a member of Itex for the past since the inception of Itex, a decade plus or so ago, and it gives me an opportunity to meet these people that normally would not have come and seen me without being Itex because geographical location, whatever the case may be.
And how long have you been a member of Itex? And what are some of the benefits that you've reaped? We at the Higher Learning Network, did we get these signs from Itex? I don't remember. We've gotten so much, I can't remember. But what are some of the benefits that?
Well, I've again being in the business and me providing services. I basically from A to Z, I've purchased products, have utilized services from other Itex members.
Give me an example for our viewing audience, for those who may be entrepreneurs or thinking of starting a business. What are some of the purchases that you've made using Itex dollars, not your own cash? What kind of?
Well, actually, I put together a list for you
Really?
that I could show you, and it kind of spells out here from A to Z
That many?
many of the services and products that I have purchased through Itex.
That you've purchased through Itex with Itex dollars, not with cash.
That is correct.
Did you hear
That is
that?
correct.
Not with money,
Yes.
not cash money, but Itex dollars, which are recognized by the IRS. This is legitimate. This is not a, what do they call them, multi-level marketing groups or anything like that. It's nothing like that. This is a legitimate business, been in business for years, because you came in through Itex through another barter company that Itex bought out.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, so let's hear that list of purchases you made.
Did you want me to read it, or
Please
did you want
do.
to take a look at it? From A to Z, any starting at the very top of the alphabet, A, such as advertising, auto repair.
Auto repair, advertising.
Yes, that's A now.
We've had our auto
I've got
repair.
25 other topics here to
Give
go
us a
through.
few more.
So we've got, for instance, B. We've business equipment,
Copy
C, catering,
machines.
copy machines,
Fax.
dentists, electricians, flowers. Going through the list here, healthcare, ink for the ink and toner for your fax machines and your
Yes.
copy machines, kitchen, bath items, jewelry, lawn and garden care, moving and storage, networking, office products, P, podiatry services. That's probably on top of my
Yeah.
list, and hopefully many other people's lists. Pet grooming, pest control,
Wow, pest control.
restaurants, radio ads, roofing, security systems, telephone services, theater tickets, patio beach equipment, video supplies and equipment, vacuums. I remember my wife had purchased a vacuum on Itex a couple of years ago. Phenomenal purchase.
We just purchased a vacuum cleaner recently, so yeah,
yes,
we know about that.
and full trade, of course.
Full trade, of course.
Water services, X-ray services, yoga classes, and zoo passes. So there you go. Here you have it,
Really?
A to Z.
Oh, wow.
The purchase that I personally, and I'm sure many other people have.
You've compiled a list.
Yes.
We've got to get busy shopping and spend some of those Itex dollars. I'm
Yes.
always trying to save, so when something does come up, because on another segment we had some guests on, and one of the owners, I think it was the Fireside Restaurant, who's also an Itex member, he sent his office manager. They had a cash flow problem, so he sent his office manager. She's been going to Aruba for 5 years in a row through Itex, because they offer vacations as well. And out of the things that you just named, I know them to be true because we've gotten stationery, business cards, ink, fax machine, an automobile. The list just goes on. And a special thank you and hello to Karen Kelly of Itex of Chicagoland Currency. She's a broker. She's our broker. Is she your broker as well?
I know
right?
of
Right.
Karen, yes.
Okay.
Sure.
So a special thanks to Karen. They're in Vegas right now. They couldn't make it back to Chicago, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't have come back to this cold either. So what would you say to the entrepreneur or business person who is in the market for supplies or personal items for that matter, and they're strapped for cash? What would you tell them? What would really make them come to Itex and be a member, and how would they take advantages of the services that Itex has to offer?
Well, again, anybody is welcome to join, provided that you have a business and services to offer. I think it's a great way, first of all, to meet quality people like yourself and your staff.
Thank you.
And again, thank you for inviting me here. And just to basically learn about products and services that you would not normally use, where you would have to pay cash for it, and you could do this through the barter system, and Itex specifically.
Right.
Again, just about every item or product or service available from A to Z is obtainable through barter.
And how many years have you been a member of Itex?
This is 10, well, with Itex, roughly 12 years or so.
Wow, so I'm a newbie. We've only been in here like 3 or 4 years or something like that.
Yes, and I found it to also be a great way of meeting these members and and also marketing your services and products to people that would not normally come into your office, in my case, for whatever reason. It gives me an opportunity to get these people into the office through this membership, through the Itex service.
And you have several offices. One is in West on Chicago, there's one on Belmont, and there's one also, I looked at your
On
card.
63rd, about a mile west of Midway Airport.
Midway Airport. So you're just all over the place. When do you sleep?
Not often.
Not often.
Not often.
Wow, that is simply fascinating to know that such an organization it does exist and is here for you to help you grow and nurture your business, because you can't do this alone. And in these challenging economic times, this is the type of resource that you have available to you that you may have not known. And it's been around for quite a while. And we just didn't, well, I didn't know about it, but I know about it now. But when I first started in business in 1993, I think it was, I didn't know that there was even a barter. And you said you were in several barter organizations, and I thought, for some reason or another, I'm dedicated to Itex. I have been solicited by others, and I'm like, no, I'm doing fine with Itex. I think I'll stay right here. But there are other barter organizations, so you need to be aware of that. But Itex is the top of the line. As far as I'm concerned, they don't even exist. So what would you tell the viewer who's just, I just don't know. I don't know about that bartering. You know, if you think back, I remember in 1996, the first time I left the country and went to South Africa, and I was looking at some jewelry, and the young man walked out from behind his booth, and he said to me, I'll give you any earrings, because I love earrings. He just had a whole row of them. He said, I'll give you any earring you want here if you'll just give me your gym shoes. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I took my gym shoes off. I had another pair at the hotel. And I just brought home a bag of earrings. Now that's true bartering, is it not?
It is true. Bartering is one of the oldest ways of. It's a monetary system. I mean, bartering is a monetary system. It's not a dollars, but it is a monetary system. And
well, actually, we do. We have Itex dollars. We never see them, even though we have checking accounts. Yeah, I forgot about that. We do write checks, or you can make the transaction online.
Yes.
Most of them are. I think maybe I've written in 3 or 4 years. I may have written 3 or 4 checks, because most of the work is done online, and that's the great thing about it. But for those who are weary of online purchases, checks are available. So that's something you might want to keep in mind too. What would you say your greatest opportunity has been so far with Itex? What do you enjoy most about being?
I enjoy spending it. keep the dollars in my pocket and use the Itex dollars to spend. And
that's pretty cool.
And it's worked out very well.
Cool
I've purchased most of my office furniture, my phone system, copy machines, fax machines,
everything
through barter.
The whole 9 yards. That's wonderful.
So it really worked out very well for me.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come and spend some time with our viewing audience. And thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of the Higher Learning Network with Dr. Jeffrey Bettman, a podiatrist, and also a member of Itex, an organization that you could benefit from as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to more of Higher Learning. And thanks for watching.